What's going on, y'all? Faizsportstalk back at it with another video talking some NBA. And we're at that point in the NBA season. We've got a lot of games under our belt and we know who's performed, who hasn't, who's been balling, who has not. And so I have a fun sort of 5-part series of videos for you guys that I will be putting up now, starting with this one in which I basically rank my top 5 players at every position, starting with, of course, point guard. So I'm going to be doing a video every week, maybe earlier than that, hopefully. So it'll be shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and then center to finish it off. So look forward to that for you guys. I have that coming up. And then if you guys have any other ideas for video topics that you guys want me to do in terms of top 5, if you guys want me to go, I did a top 5 underrated players. I can do overrated, anything of that sort. Just leave a comment down below and I will look into it. But with that being said, let's get started. So I'm going to give you guys my top 5 point guards for the NBA season, for the 2017 NBA season, and let's get started. So I just want to point out, remember, I'm looking at a lot of things here. It's more than just, statistics. I'm looking at your impact, your team's win total, how does the team play when you're not there, how does it play when you're there, etc., etc. So it's more than just numbers here. And again, at the end of the day, it's my opinion. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree. But with that being said, again, let's get started at number 5. I've got Kyrie Irving. Look, I know a lot of people are going to be like, whoa, number 5, he should be higher than that. Kyrie is great. He's the flashy player. He makes all the big shots, the money shots. He puts on all the handles. He's got the best handles in the NBA, the best crossover arguably in the NBA. And Kyrie Irving, every time you watch him, it is a treat because he jumps off your screen. Unfortunately, it's not the entire story with Kyrie Irving, and that's why I have him at number 5. Look, it's not a diss. Kyrie Irving is a top 5 point guard, but to me, he is the last of the 5 because he essentially excels on one side of the ball. So this year, he's having a very good year, definitely averaging just around 24 points, 6 assists, and about 3.2 rebounds a game. And here's the thing with Kyrie Irving you have to realize. And the point guards that I mentioned after Kyrie Irving, you're going to be like, oh, if those point guards were on the Cavs, would they be better? Well, look, Kyrie Irving is the perfect Robin to LeBron James's Batman, okay? He makes all the big shots. He doesn't have to do any of the distributing. And we've seen how Kyrie Irving is and how his team is when he is the solo player. And they have struggled and they haven't been that good. LeBron James does all of the necessary work for Kyrie Irving to just worry about what he does best, which is make shots, which is take people off the dribble, and it is essentially to score the basketball. So that's really the thing with Kyrie Irving. He does have some holes in his game, particularly on the defensive end. His rating is not that good. He's not that great of a defender. And his distributing skills, he's not that great with finding his open teammates. Like I said, Kyrie Irving is essentially a scoring point guard, and he does not need to be anything else because, like I mentioned, he's perfect for that system. But to me, the other guys I have above him, they all excel in areas that Kyrie Irving doesn't, and they still add more to the game. But with that being said, like I said, Kyrie Irving, nasty handles, crossover, big clutch shot making. He is just a joy to watch. So number 5, I have Kyrie friggin' Irving. Number 4, I have John Wall. Look, I still think this guy is underrated. Washington has really picked it up as of late. They're one of the best teams in the East, and John Wall is the reason why he has taken his game to another level. 23 points per game, which is a career high, 10.5 assists a game, which I think is second best in the league, just behind James Harden. And he has been a model of consistency for the Wizards, and that's really, like I mentioned, the reason why they've been as successful as they have this season. He's taken his game to another level, and to me, he's entered this conversation now as a top 5 point guard in the NBA. One of his biggest weaknesses was shooting, and he has improved that. He's got a mid-range game now. His shooting percentage went up, and really in transition, can you think of a better point guard? I know Russell Westbrook comes to mind, but John Wall in transition is a whole nother player. He is nasty. You do not want to be in front of him when he has got a full head of steam. So off the dribble, just creating for guys, and that's the biggest thing for me. John Wall gets his and gets it for his other teammates. He finds guys like Bradley Beal, Otto Porter, Markieff Morris. They're all having very good seasons, and John Wall is the reason why. At number 3, I've got Chris Paul. Look, I know he's hurt. I know he's been out for a portion of games, but look, when Chris Paul is right and when he is healthy, he is still the best floor general in the NBA, bar none. His ability to find guys is unquestionable, and he's, I believe, still the best in the league at it. And the reason why I still don't even have Chris Paul a little higher on this list is because I do think he's aging and his game is slowing down a little bit. No, he's still in his prime, but it's just slowing down a little bit. And you guys see how the Clippers are without him. He's the heart and soul of that team. They go as he goes, and if he is not right, the Clippers are not going anywhere. No disrespect to Blake Griffin. I love Blake Griffin. He's one of my favorite players. But Chris Paul really drives this team. And like I mentioned, not having a great career season, 17.5 points, 9.7 assists, 5.3 rebounds. But you have to understand, Chris Paul brings the intangibles to the table. He brings that leadership, that savviness, that veteran presence that you need in the locker room. And that's really the importance that Chris Paul has. When he is in the game, he is the extension of the coach on the floor. And like I mentioned, when you talk about his game, offensively, he's an improved shooter. He can get you off the dribble. He's still got handles. I know he's getting up there in age, like I mentioned, but he can still handle the basketball, and he can still D you down. So Chris Paul still plays both sides of the ball, and I still like him. Number 3, Chris Paul. At number 2, Steph Curry. Look, when you add an MVP like Kevin Durant, your numbers are going to go down. So Steph Curry's not having an MVP season, yes, of course, but that should be expected, okay? But still, 25.2 points, 6.4 assists, 4.3 rebounds. That's still ridiculous, okay? And the efficiency in which Steph does it is still nasty. The reason I have Steph here still, and people think he should be lower just because, he's had to take a little bit away from his game in order to acclimate Kevin Durant, is because we've seen Steph at points in this NBA season when he is on his level that he can reach to is better than any other point guard probably in the NBA, maybe outside of Russell Westbrook. And that's really the key here. His ceiling is so much higher. When Steph catches fire, it is in fuego. It's another zone. And Steph Curry, like I mentioned, he's a 2-time MVP. We've seen what he can do, and that's really the reason why I have him here. Like I said, marksman, best shooter in the NBA, bar none. The thing with Steph Curry, though, on the defensive end, I think he is a poor defender individually, but he does well as a team defender, and that's really the thing here. Look, Kyrie Irving, like I mentioned before, he's just a poor defender, but Steph Curry does play well within the confines of the Warriors' defense, and they've been ranked as a top defensive team for the last 2-3 years now, so Steph Curry is definitely not hindering that. So with that being said, Steph Curry at number 2. At number 1, I mean, come on, Russell Westbrook averaging a triple-double. There's just no discussions. His level of play this season, any other point guard isn't even sniffing him. 31.2 points per game, leading the league, by the way. 10.5 rebounds, 10.2 assists. Pretty sure he's top 5 or top 3 in assists. And even in rebounds, he's got to be up there. So Russell Westbrook, look, I was actually one of his harshest critics. I thought Russell Westbrook was a ball-dominating, blinders on, not involving my teammates type of player. But look, every metric you can use, every stat there is out there is going to dispute that, because Russell Westbrook finds a way to get the job done. He has no weakness in his game. At best, rebounding point guard. He can find guys. He can score at will, inside, outside, relentless, driving to the basket. He is a one-man wrecking crew, and he is the entire reason the Oklahoma City Thunder are even in the playoffs. Look at the roster. I mean, I know they just lost Enes Kanter, but it is barren outside of Steven Adams and Victor Oladipo, and he is carrying that roster. And if it wasn't for James Harden, Russell Westbrook would be a runaway MVP this season. He might still win MVP, but I'm saying it wouldn't be a discussion like it is now with him and James Harden. So Russell Westbrook, bar none, the best point guard in the NBA. So there you have it, folks, the top 5 point guards in the NBA in 2017. In my opinion, let me know if you guys agree or disagree. Leave a comment down below. I also do want to give some honorable mention consideration to guys like Isaiah Thomas, who is having a career season. He is putting the Celtics on his back. He just missed the cut for me. Kyle Lowry, Damian Lillard, Mike Conley. They're all having great seasons. But, there's only 5 guys I could pick, so those are who I picked. And again, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.